Hi everyone, welcome to a video on the new Love is Blind UK, and we're going to analyze the puzzling dynamic between Sam, Nicole, and Benaiah. Firstly, spoiler alert, this video involves episodes 1 to 8. I understand that it's an edited show. I am only analyzing the characters portrayed. I also believe that people can grow and change. This analysis is for our own learning and reflection. Please do not use what I say to bother the cast. So from the way it was shown on the show, I believe that a lot of the audience would agree that Sam sort of reeks of pick-me boy.
You're very sweet, aren't you? You sound like a very...
But the sweet guy never wins. I'm just hoping someone understands me. No one's ever loved me. I need someone to love me more than anything as well, okay?
He felt a bit like a schoolboy, desperate to get a girlfriend because everyone else has one.
All the weddings I attend at the moment where it's +1 on the invitations, I have no +1. It does hurt. I want you to remember me, okay? It's Sam from London. I remember the name, Sam, okay? Sam from London, okay?
I think the way in which Sam low-key brags about himself reflected his immaturity and lack of depth.
What does that life look like for you?
I think if I could put it into a book, it would be a book that would be one of the best books that someone could ever read.
Okay.
He dropped hints about how good-looking he was.
And if you saw me, then I think you might be impressed.
Okay.
Or how other people would think he's a catch.
Aesthetically, people think, oh no, come on, Sam, you can get any girl you want. Yeah, I wish it was that easy.
Or that he's hard to get.
Why do you think girls aren't giving you the chance?
I think they might look at my profile, like my Instagram, or when they see me in a bar, and they might just think he's looking for a one-night stand.
Right. Do you feel like you give fuckboy energy?
It implies that Sam does not know how to look beyond the superficial. He's not really here to build a genuine connection.
Yes, I had feelings for Jasmine, so that was a tough pill to swallow. But at the end of the day, it's her loss, you know? I'm just going to dust myself off. And the fact that Nicole is on that other side of that pod still means something.
He's here just to find validation in securing an engagement.
I'm going to give it one hell of a go with Nicole. I'm not going to stop because I'm not going to let another one slip by my wayside.
In terms of personality type, relational chemistry is a lot to do with where our feeling functions are, and the highest chemistry being between feeling dominant types and lower feeling types. I've done a video that covers this in more detail, link above. With Nicole, her FI introverted feeling is her lowest function, called the inferior, which means she feels her emotions and values very deeply and aspires to be expressive. But the emotional realm can be a scary or not so confident place for her.
I've been married before and it didn't work out, but I never lost hope. So I think for me, I'm ready, but it's scary.
She would therefore have high chemistry with people who are FE, extroverted feeling dominant. FE is about relating to other people and responding to emotions. And FE dominant types are naturally good at opening people up, making Nicole's little FI feel safe to be vulnerable.
I just love how I was able to open up, you know?
With Benaiah, Nicole should have more chemistry with him versus Sam. They don't share a single function in their stacks, and also their complementary functions are not quite at the right levels, creating a draw but also some confusion.
I have two connections, Sam and Benaiah, but Benaiah is the one that I really feel romantically connected with.
In addition to what I mentioned between FI and FE dynamic, what Benaiah does for Nicole is that he gives her the confidence to use her lower functions and be the version of herself that she deep down aspires to be.
I mean, I've hitchhiked from Preston to Budapest.
Wow,
Yeah.
You're really cool. Something I sometimes want to do is just up and just leave and just be free and just go somewhere, you know?
Benaiah's lifestyle epitomizes Nicole's aspirational or fantasy version of herself.
The kind of life I envision with Benaiah is a free, liberating life.
To be spiritual, free-spirited, living off the grid, eat, pray, love.
And I'm someone who's quite conscious of mind, body and spirit.
Versus her usual, more put-together, rational, and sensible self.
I do work a corporate job.
Yeah.
For me, this kind of thing is like a means to an end to like a life of freedom and a life of off-grid living is like what I really like.
Exactly that.
On the other hand, Nicole appeared to have fallen for Sam's sweet talk and level of expressiveness.
I've never in my life met a guy who's just wears his heart on his sleeve like you do. You are who you are, and I really appreciate that.
Sam has feeling in the hero position, making him very confident in the emotional realm. He makes it easy for Nicole to be her emotional, giddy, and silly self, to be more feeling.
Sam, he's fun. I feel like giddy. I feel happy. I could just imagine us just kicking it. Is that like, what do the cool kids say?
In general, I find that types with feeling in the inferior position, they can be at risk of being swept up by someone else's bigger feelings and go with that flow without really asking themselves if they actually reciprocate those strong feelings. At the start though, the sensible part of Nicole did know to be a bit cautious of Sam's smooth talk.
You
Really
know
wants to
what?
do
You're
it.
making me a bit scared, if I'm honest, because
Yeah.
I feel like you're saying a lot of the right things.
Unfortunately, after Nicole felt rejection from Benaiah,
Do you feel like you could see potentially proposing to anyone at all?
Connection-wise, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But difficult for me to kind of give these assurances of, oh yeah, we have a connection, I can see us getting engaged. I'm not at that stage.
she became more vulnerable to Sam's love bombing after her confidence was knocked.
It's my very, very lucky bracelet that I've had.
This is the sweetest. With Benaiah, I just feel like sometimes I'm pulling teeth, but with Sam, he's really committed to us, you know, and that feels really good.
As an aside point, I think Sam and Benaiah are actually really good examples of how people with the same functions do not necessarily behave or present in the same way. Sam and Benaiah both have the function FE, extroverted feeling, as dominant functions. They're both good at opening people up, reading feelings, responding and mirroring other people emotionally. Our feeling and thinking functions come in pairs and are on an axis with each other. So if you have FE, extroverted feeling, you also have TI, introverted thinking. And we're meant to incorporate all our functions in balance. And this balance or imbalance explains the difference between Sam and Benaiah. Sam, as portrayed on the show, uses FE without TI. He just says what people want to hear.
I think beauty is just skin deep. So I think what's
Do
in
you
this...
think that?
100%. I did have a nose job. I've always been conscious of certain things.
He keeps changing his tune in terms of values and feelings.
Because in my heart at the moment, I know who the one is. So in my gut, it feels right with Jasmine. So like, I know I'd live happily ever after with her.
Without any authenticity or internal consistency.
But on the other hand, it's given me some clarity to understand Nicole is the one for me. Someone who could be the wife of my kids.
Whereas Benaiah uses both FE with TI, he still responds to people's emotions, but without compromising his authenticity and truth.
Difficult for me to kind of give these assurances of, oh yeah, we have a connection, I can see us getting engaged. I'm not at that stage.
This leads me to the scene where Benaiah tried to warn Nicole about Sam.
I'm going to be brutally honest because this involves you and your future, and you need to hear this for your own sake.
Okay.
From a personality type perspective, why do I think that Nicole did not heed Benaiah's warning?
Sam is not here for genuine reasons, or is at least saying a lot that indicates he's not here for genuine reasons. I believe he's basically here for fame, not for love.
What the hell?
Notice that Benaiah went straight to the conclusion of Sam's intentions, but he didn't give any concrete details of how he got to that conclusion.
I whittled it down to 2 amazing girls and one's gone. So beggars can't be choosers, eh? You know what I mean? Like,
Benaiah didn't quote what was said or describe the scenario where he overheard Sam's comments. The details are sensing, the who, what, where. Benaiah has SE, extroverted sensing, inferior. SE is about the reality, what actually happened. And as an inferior function, Benaiah would easily neglect including these details in his explanation. SE is also about actioning and making things real. And SE inferior is terrified of getting too involved, to be too heavy-handed.
I don't want this to be seen as like sabotage, because that's not who I am.
Benaiah mentioned that he was worried that he'll appear like he's sabotaging. My advice to him would have been this. The best thing to do in this situation is to actually use his lower functions TI introverted thinking and SE extroverted sensing. Basically, to be more objective and factual in what he tells Nicole, i.e., he could just quote what he heard Sam say, describe the context of the situation, and let Nicole conclude for herself rather than concluding for her.
Can you just tell, like, you need to just trust me with this information, but I need to know because I need to know.
Being factual and objectively describing the situation with Sam is also more digestible information for Nicole to process, having thinking and sensing functions as her dominant. However, I do understand that my suggestion may not be the most natural thing for Benaiah to do. Generally, it takes us more mental energy to use our lower functions. Despite Benaiah's warning, Nicole was probably already too attached to her connection with Sam to rationally assess the situation.
I didn't really want to believe what I heard in terms of the future. Sam makes me feel very assured that, like, there's a place for me definitely somewhere.
It was probably too painful for her to acknowledge that Sam was not genuine with her this whole time. Her FI introverted feeling inferior didn't want to feel bad, so she pushed forward. We can see that Nicole was fully driven by her feelings rather than being rational, by how she consulted Jasmine's opinion only to ignore it.
Ben will make you feel more emotionally fulfilled.
Sam lacks that depth for me. That was just my gathering.
I don't know.
I also found it interesting that Nicole appeared surprised by what Jasmine was telling her.
From day one, Sam told me, like, I think you are it.
Sam's been telling me the same thing.
Really?
Yeah. From our second date.
No? Really?
Her naivety tells me one of two things. Either she's actually not that experienced with men, and so she's not vigilant about the possibility that Sam doles out the smooth talk very easily and to everyone.
I feel like you're going to give me the love, like the affection that I need. And I think that other person doesn't know quite what I need. I think you are everything I've been looking for my whole life. I've just known from day one.
Or, sadly, she's not experienced this level of emotional reassurance from men, so she succumbs to the scarcity mindset.
And I think with Sam, I feel giddy, I feel happy, things that I'd be looking to feel in a relationship.
Thinking that no one's ever made me feel this way, I want to believe it's true, even though it's too good to be. And so because Nicole has in her heart already decided to choose Sam, especially after she was disappointed by Benaiah,
I'm not gonna lie, like, your answer to me is not ideal.
she rationalized it in her head this way. So first, her TE extroverted thinking has left the building. TE is Nicole's ability to rationally weigh up the objective facts presented to her, what Benaiah, Jasmine, and Sam have said to her. TE and FI come as a pair on an axis, so if you blow up FI, then there's not much room left for TE. Nicole also heavily leans on her second function, SI introverted sensing, which is I trust my personal experience of Sam, my account of Sam, which outweighs how other people have experienced Sam. Lastly, Nicole has the child function NE extroverted intuition, which loves entertaining the multiple possibilities. And so it rejects the certainty of Benaiah and Jasmine's opinion and conclusion of Sam. That level of certainty of what they read from Sam, from Jasmine and Benaiah, that's introverted intuition NI, which happens to be Nicole's blind spot function.
It concerns me that after like a conversation with him, knowing exactly everything he said and done, she can very easily come around to the conclusion that she's a nice guy again.
Instead, Nicole has NE child, which is an optimism like, I know that people are warning me with good certainty that Sam's intentions are bad, but maybe it could mean something else. There are all these other possibilities. Who knows? Let's see. We could tell that Nicole was very vulnerable and desperate to fool herself by the question she decided to ask Sam. Are you sure you're here for the right reasons?
I just need to know if you're here for love and if you're here for, like, for hope of marriage and to meet someone, you know?
It's kind of like asking a con man, are you a con man?
Yes, 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 yes. Yes.
Like, no other reasons.
No fucking other reasons, yes. You have no idea.
TE Hero could have objectively examined Sam's intentions by cross-examining his response versus what Benaiah and Jasmine have told her. But no, this silly-sounding question was from a more vulnerable and fearful place. FI Inferior, her delicate inner child, asking Sam if he was going to hurt her and that she's afraid to be hurt again.
For me, this is a really big thing, okay? Because, like, I've done this before.
I know.
Nicole's choice to choose Sam is basically made by FI Inferior. And I find that when we make a decision solely with our inferior function and not balance it with our other functions, we usually do regret our decision later. I think a lot of the audience thought that Nicole regretted choosing Sam at the reveal.
I'll see you soon.
Okay,
Okay.
don't change your mind now.
No.
Promise me.
I promise.
And trust me, okay?
Yes. Okay. See you.
However, I think that the regret started much earlier than that, literally shortly after she said yes.
And honestly, I love you.
I think I love you too. I can't believe it.
Oh, I know.
Basically, what I think happened was once Nicole had resumed her composure after that emotional outburst, she immediately started regretting saying yes to Sam and instantly felt very overwhelmed.
Oh, shit. I'm still trying to keep very grounded. Oh, my God. But I am engaged.
This is because our inferior function is quite on and off. Suddenly, Nicole's FI switched back off after the emotional ride, and she's returned to her more rational self. It dawned on her that she had just made a very impulsive and irrational decision, that her feelings had gotten the best of her.
I felt that I liked you more and was pouring into you more, but I didn't feel like actually emotionally you were pouring back. So I then decided to keep my options open, and ultimately by choosing someone who was quote unquote emotionally available, I then made a decision that wasn't quite right, you know?
So I'm really glad that Nicole and Benaiah gave themselves a second chance.
You know, it's really difficult for me coming away from that ending and how, like, heartbroken I was with everything.
They were so vulnerable with each other.
No, I'm just so sorry.
I've lost you once, I don't want to lose you again.
And they didn't let shame or their ego get in their way.
I think a seed has been sown. I want to help nurture and care for that seed and help it become the most beautiful flower.
However, I do have one lingering concern with this couple.
Sam is someone that's going to be part of our story. That's the reality.
Nicole seems to consistently overlook Benaiah's warnings when he sees Sam's bad intentions.
What he said and what he's done, some of it I've seen for myself. And it's him, like, disrespecting you. I don't think I could hold back if I saw him.
Benaiah sees Sam's lack of integrity, his pettiness, and disrespect towards Nicole.
Yeah, I remember you wanted to be physical with me, and I said no that night, which in a way I'm quite proud of myself for that as well. Like, I wanted to be a true gentleman to you as well, and you deserve that.
He also sees how vulnerable Nicole is to Sam's manipulation.
That's just because you've got good intentions, but he can just come and say exact same stuff he's saying in the pods, and you're like, oh, what a lovely guy, blah, 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 and I want to protect you.
But Nicole seems to keep holding on to her positive experience of Sam, her subjective experience.
What we had in the pods was real. We both agreed it was real.
Interesting.
But, well, you may disagree.
I disagree because I think
you
it's an act.
disagree. You think it's an act, and maybe you could be right, but I'm going to just take it as what I felt was real.
Even telling Sam that she thinks he's been misunderstood.
And I wanted you to know that I cared as well. And even if we can remain friends, then I'm happy.
I know you did. I think part of me just wonders, I just feel like
Part of me feels like you're quite misunderstood.
Sure, one can argue that Benaiah's projections about Sam might be biased because they're love rivals, but it seems that there was a consensus among the men about Sam's questionable intentions, so Benaiah was actually not alone.
I wouldn't say anyone's been bad-mouthing you per se, but I feel like they got this perception of you as either like you weren't genuine or your connection wasn't genuine.
What wasn't genuine about it?
I think one explanation for Nicole's denial regarding Sam is what we've mentioned before, how she's desperate to not feel bad and not wanting to question her positive experience with Sam.
I'm sick of that conversation. That's why, whether it's true or false, I don't care.
There's also another possible reason it might be, and it's how Nicole seems to deal with someone who's betrayed her.
He said some not nice things about you, with all these derogatory comments about intimacy, etc.
I know what happened in those 2 days. I could quite easily be sharing my side, but actually I've got nothing to prove. I've got nothing to say. That's as far as it goes.
To basically not show any emotion, to appear unfazed, to not let someone like Sam know that he's bothered her at all. And even though I kind of get where Nicole might be coming from, for Benaiah, the lack of reassurance from Nicole that she believes in his warnings, the way she just shuts down the conversation, does not console Benaiah's upset, it may feel dismissive, like she doesn't have Benaiah's back.
I want us to not think about him. Any further chat is like giving space to something that is like not even relevant in our lives.
In this moment, Nicole's coldness is dismissive of Benaiah's feelings. She is not being mindful about his emotional involvement in this love triangle. His hurt over not being chosen first, his upset that she's still entertaining Sam, as well as his anger over Sam's disrespect on her behalf. She's saying none of this is of any relevance.
Having that conversation with Sam was really difficult. Probably the hardest test I've had with Nicole. The emotions are very high, and it's a couple of weeks away till the wedding.
So I do hope that over time, Nicole learns to look out for Benaiah's feelings more, like how he looks out for hers.
Where is Ben?
He's somewhere, I don't know.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful and interesting. Please like, subscribe, and share to support my channel. I've developed my own methods of interpreting personality types. If you would like us to analyze your personality type and make sense of your relationships, communication, and decision making, then please find booking details in the description box below.